Willis. Sometimes, it feels like a chemistry class, but of course, he just wants to make sure that we're talking and, pronouncing our words correct. Thank you very much, Willis. All right, so like I promised, and I'm seeing a lot of feedback about, of course, Options Education Agency. Of course, we want to have that discussion about, being a Form 4 leaver or being a parent to one, and you're wondering what next for my child, or not even a Form 4 leaver, maybe you even just want to go back to school. So we're talking about Australia, and I have representatives from the Options Education Agency. I have the lovely lady, Winnie Ngoro. You look lovely tonight.
Thank you so much.
You look like you can also be a news anchor, so you should probably come for a screen test or something. Yeah?
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana, you're a student counselor.
Yes, I am.
All right, and we also have David Obino, who's the events and marketing coordinator. David, you're well tonight?
I am well.
You're well tonight?
Yes.
All right, so guys, let's just first talk about, a very quick overview of Options Education Agency so that people can get to understand why are you guys the experts. David?
Okay, so basically I will probably start with letting guys know when we started the company. So the company was started by our director. She's called Helen Maria, and this was in 2009. Yeah, so we've been in service for the past 16 years. Yeah. And another issue that I can probably bring up is our headquarters is in Australia, Adelaide. That's where we are based. And at the moment, we have branches in Perth. In Kenya, we have 4 branches. We have another one in Uganda and 2 branches in Nigeria.
All right.
Yeah.
So the experience is there. You've done this for so many years in so many different countries.
Yeah.
All right, Winnie, let's talk about why study in Australia. We always see Australia. What's good about Australia?
So Australia is one of our most popular destinations. We handle other destinations, but students really love Australia. That is because they have a multicultural type of a situation whereby Australia is known by not only Kenyans, but students worldwide. So our students get to interact and network with other students. Also, the weather, Betty, the weather is nice. So nice. It's just like here in Kenya. So it makes it so easy for our students to settle in Australia. Also, when you look at the world-class education, when you get that, your papers, you are employable all over the world.
All over the world.
Yes. Also, students check on the post-study work visa. That is, after you're done with school, you're given more years to stay in the country, which is good on the return on investment part.
Right.
Yeah.
So how like it's time for you to leave. So you actually have a few years to still stay in the country after you've already finished the course you're doing, whether it's degree, master's or PhD.
Exactly.
So I'm just wondering, as Options, education agency, what kind of research do you guys do to make sure that you're giving, Kenyan students the best in terms of the selection of universities, and just making sure that overall, if I send my kid to, Perth, what is the kind of research that you guys normally do to make sure you get things right for these students?
So basically, we usually get trainings from the universities directly. So we have partnered with a number of universities in Australia, like the top universities. There's so many, there are over 30 of them.
Okay.
So each university usually sends a representative to Kenya to train us, depending on where our branch is. Okay. They will go there, train us on the various courses that they offer, and now this will enable us now transfer that information to the clients that are coming to our offices. Okay. Yeah.
So what does it take? Let's say, is it open for everybody? I need to be an A student, to go there and study medicine and to study different things. Do you cater to all grades? Nimepata, B minus, plus C minus, pata D. Is there opportunity for all? What are the requirements really?
So yes, it's not just for the A students. That's the beauty of it. Just like here in Kenya, your grade will determine the level that you'll start with, right? So from a B and above, direct entry for a bachelor's, then you have a diploma, and if you have D for a doctor, you can start with a foundation.
You said D for a doctor. I love it. D for a doctor. Yeah. You can start with the foundation.
Yes, yes.
So there's opportunity really for everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. And the requirement is just your KCSE result slip and your passport. The passport is your main document. Yes, that is for fresh students from high school. Okay. And then we have people who want to further in their post-study work certificates.
Right.
So with that, we will require, of course, your bachelor's degree, your transcripts, your CV,
Yes, yes.
and recommendation letters.
Okay, that is for the masters going up.
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
fresh from 4 students is just the basics.
Yes.
So let me ask you, take me through just the basic, requirements, not even requirements, the process. Let's call it the process. So nimemaliza shule, nikona, my certificate and everything,
Yeah.
so I can knock on the door for Options Education Agency. How does it move on from there? Is there a fee that I pay? How does it move on from there?
So we tell students consultation is free, so you can come visit our office. So the number one thing we do is course counseling. So we gauge the student, we know your strength, so we know you are good with arts, you're good with the IT sector. We also find you a school that is suitable for you, and then tell
You literally parent the students. Like you
Yes.
become like, you help the parents to make
Yes.
this decision.
Yes, we do. And now for this whole process, yes, we do have a service charge, which is not that much.
Okay,
And
okay.
tell students you're very much welcome.
Okay, to
Yeah.
come, you guys have first of all a consultation.
Yes.
So it's good so that you know where a student can be comfortable
Yeah.
and of course placed in the right way, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the cost. Do you have scholarships, or these offerings are just literally for for payment purposes? Do you give opportunities for also students who maybe come from poor backgrounds to also secure some opportunities in Australia or New Zealand?
Okay, so with the universities, they have different scholarship programs, but most cases it's usually between 15% to 30%, and that is based on merit. Because you might have passed your bachelor's, like you have a first class, you might probably get the 30%. You might be having the second upper, you might probably get 15%. So it varies, but it's usually between 15 to 30%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When it's just coming to the reason why I would decide to take my kids to Australia and not to maybe like the local universities we have, here, Daystar University, University of Nairobi, all these universities. Why would I decide to? What is it good about going to Australia or abroad to study instead of the Kenyan universities we have, or even East African universities we have?
So like I mentioned earlier, Betty, we've been having issues also with our local universities whereby we have strikes, we have missing marks. That is very rare when it comes to schools abroad. Also, like I mentioned, the job opportunities,
job opportunities
that come with it. You are employable all over the world. So that also gives our students something to be proud of. Yes.
Okay. Now, as we just wind up, how many success cases do you have? Or Winnie, you're almost saying, how many success stories do you have for parents who feel like, okay, I would want my kid to to try this? What is the success rate, and how many kids also get absorbed in job opportunities abroad after they finish school?
So we've been in operations for over 16 years now.
Yes.
So, and with that, we have assisted so many students, Betty, a lot of them. And you find parents coming to you telling you, you took my daughter, I have a nephew, you took my neighbor, and they refer.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a job where referrals come in handy, and that is what we ride on mostly, because the success stories are so many.
So do you have students who are already like wanafanya huko kazi, walimaliza shule,
Yes.
na they are attached to jobs and they're doing well for themselves?
90% of our students
90%
don't come back.
That's a lot of flexing.
Yes,
90%.
yes. I am so confident in saying that. Yes.
Okay. As we wind up, David, what can you say about the environment? You said there's a conducive, of course, weather, people are nice. But how sure am I as a parent, maybe hata mimi sijawahi toka Kenya, lakini nataka mtoto wangu aende asome Australia because of the nice things that Winnie has said, job opportunities, all those things. How do you assist students who just land, in Perth, for example, to also be, to have a safe landing, wasikuwe confused, so that they're also comfortable in whatever place they are, so that mzazi akiwa hapa nyumbani ashangai, Winnie ako wapi ama Betty ako wapi? How do you normally help the students on the ground?
So it starts with, since now our headquarters is there, so basically we usually have the students reach out to our offices in case of any issues that they may incur while there. But the most help that they usually get is we have student ambassadors in almost every school. Because so let's say, for example, we take you at this next intake, and then you are there for like 1 year. So by the time you've finished like 2 years there or 2 semesters, you'll be able to become our ambassador. So we'll be sending students to that school, and you'll be able to be helping us to guide the students throughout the steps as they get used to the new environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least kuna watu kwa ground, your kid will not be left, you know,
yes, they won't be left alone. Yeah, exactly.
Unawares.
Yeah.
Talking about maybe the school fees on the ground, is it affordable compared maybe to Kenyan universities? Because it all sounds nice and rosy, but mfuko ndo ina determine.
True,
apart from the scholarships that you've mentioned, how are the, you know, the rates in terms of fees abroad, and also hostels and maybe apartments or student blocks?
Of course, the tuition fee is a bit higher compared to here in Kenya.
Okay.
But the beauty of it is when you get that student visa, you are also allowed to work part-time as an international student.
Okay.
So we've seen our students, that is what they work with. So by the time you are able to manage your schoolwork and also now your hustle. Yeah. So,
but it is the truth also for students, even a lot of students in Kenya, even right now, you lazima kuwe na kitu unafanya kando.
Yeah, so of course, yeah, it's a bit pricey, but it's something manageable if you plan yourself.
If you plan yourself.
Yes, yes.
All right. So as a wrap up, David, why choose Options Education Agency? What's good about you guys? Apart from the 16 years in service, you have all this, you know, 90%, you know, uptake of students abroad. Why else should I, you know, knock on Options Education Agency's door?
We have this direct partnership with the universities. Yeah, this that we are able to guide you, and then after we have guided you, we just lead you directly to the universities. The reps will be able to help you so that you can transition now into the study environment in Australia. Yeah, and then at the same time, we don't just guide you towards Australia. Of course, you might have some challenges. You don't have the requirements that you need towards going to Australia. So we have other options for you.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be Australia
You don't
only.
need to just go to Australia.
So which other, you had mentioned the countries that you're in. Could you just do that again?
Okay, so I had mentioned the branches that we are in here.
Yes.
So we're in Kenya, we're in Uganda, we're in Nigeria, that is Africa. And then now our headquarters in Adelaide, and then another branch in Perth.
Okay.
But then we take students to Europe, we take them to Canada, we take them to USA, New Zealand too.
All right.
That is now another very vibrant country to go study. It's just beside Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not just Australia only. There are all these
Australia.
other options that you can also help babysit or, you know, midwife. That's a better, that's a better. Okay, Winnie, you want to say something about?
Yeah, just to add up on that, we also have an English training. So for students going to study abroad, they must sit for their English test. And we have an English center whereby students get some coaching, just prepare them to sit for their tests. Also, we do the booking for them. And like I said, having our headquarters in Australia is good. So umetoka hapa Kenya, unaenda unauliza na huku ni wapi naweza pata mishebebe. Like at least you see familiar faces.
Yeah, but there's so many Kenyans in Australia, right? So you kuna watu wakuonyesha mishebebe.
Yeah, huko.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I mean it's so nice. There's something I wanted to ask because maybe there's a parent sitting at home or a phone for leave. I was wondering, what courses, is it all courses that you can think about in the world, or is it specific courses that are offered in these universities you guys have? Ni zote mpaka za veterinary, what is it?
Yeah, ni zote beti, from nursing, of course the most popular one, nursing, social work, teaching, even music, drama, IT, all courses are available for our students. And we have an upcoming fair. I guess David will talk more about that.
Yes, the upcoming fair. Before, we have to talk about it. Yes, talk about, it's actually happening in Eldoret, here in Nairobi, and is it Mombasa?
No, it's actually happening in Nairobi, which will be on 15th.
Yes,
next
15th
week.
next week
Yeah,
on Saturday.
On Saturday. And then
That is in Nairobi.
That is in Nairobi.
Where specifically for those who want to come?
Nairobi Safari Club, just opposite University of Nairobi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nairobi Safari Club, opposite UON. That is on Saturday 15th. So when they come there, they'll be able to know, ask questions, everything. They'll find you guys there, ready to answer all the questions. So that is in Nairobi, 15th February, Miskia. 15th February in Nairobi, at Nairobi Safari Club, right opposite University of Nairobi. 15th. That only next Saturday. Kwa hivyo kama ni mzazi, ama you're somebody who wants to, see the way you can actually go to Australia to study, that is a place where you're going to get, of course, Options Education Agency. All right, and apart from Nairobi, is there another one?
So yeah, the next one will be moving with our partners now to Nyeri. So for Nyeri will be on 17th.
Okay.
That will be on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after Nyeri, we'll now travel to Eldoret on 22nd.
17th, I think, is going to probably be a Monday.
No.
17th of February.
17th February. And then, no, sorry, 19th.
19th.
Apologies,
Okay.
19th.
Okay.
19th on Wednesday, that will be in Nyeri.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then for Eldoret will be 22nd.
Okay.
22nd, that will be another Saturday.
Okay.
So the Saturday after Nairobi.
Okay.
So that one will be in Eldoret.
Eldoret.
And then 28th of Feb, that will, I think, will be the end month, the end date of February.
Yes, yes.
That one will be in Nakuru.
Nakuru.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course, so there's Nairobi, Nyeri, Eldoret, Nakuru.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So
But
those
it's
places.
starting from Kampala, actually. Our first one is starting Kampala on 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
12th this coming week. Then
Yes.
there's 14th in Nairobi.
15th.
Sorry, 15th Nairobi.
Yeah.
19th
In Nyeri.
in Nyeri.
22nd in
22nd in Eldoret.
28th Nakuru.
28th in Nakuru.
Yeah.
All right, I hope you've marked those dates. Probably we'll put them on our social media pages so you can also be able to access them. All right, so thank you so much for coming, and it's been amazing, having you guys in studio. Maybe hata mimi naweza sema nataka kufanya kazi huku. Nende nisome, nifanye kazi. And so what happens when you finish your education, you get your degree, maybe you get a job, and you still want to continue studying there? Do they normally give you that, that leeway?
Yes, they do. They do. As long as you are furthering your education, yes, they do. And like I mentioned, most of these countries, they give you the post-study work visa. Yeah, so yes, they do.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, David Owino and Winnie Ngoroe, for coming to us. Of course, we are urging you guys, if you're in Nairobi, Nyeri, Miskia, Eldoret, Nakuru, of course, just make sure you, of course, visit Options Education Agency. They're going to be there to answer all the questions you have about traveling to and studying in Australia or New Zealand or any other country. They can be able to, of course, make sure that you get the best services. So mko wapi? Where are your offices, by the way? Niliona mko Instagram.
Yes.
Where are your offices too?
So for Nairobi, we are at the mall, Westlands, on the first floor. And then Nakuru, we are at West Side Mall on the second floor. And Eldoret at Metro Towers on the second floor.
Okay.
Yes.
Ama ukiliza tu hapo Wichita kuambia.
Yeah, tunajulikana.
All right, so guys, you've heard it. Get more information about Options Education Agency. They really are the experts when it comes to, daring abroad, going to Australia, going to New Zealand, securing that degree, that master's, or even PhD, away from home, and probably even getting job opportunities later on. So it only starts, of course, right here in Nairobi, of course, Options Education Agency. Look them up and you can be able to make a decision. All right, so thank you guys. Mtatumalizia show. Nini mtumalizia show? Thank you so much. So it has been amazing having you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, Willis Ocheng also had a fantastic one tonight. And I'm looking forward really to next week's show. Good things are coming on this show and other shows. Very, very good things. Actually, nisiseme saizi, but very nice things are happening starting the coming Friday. So be sure to keep it right here at TV47. Tunawapenda. Good night. Good night. Bye. Be kind to one another. Mwah. Thank you, guys.